Tom Ferry, love him or not, there is something he says at almost every single conference or meeting that I've ever been to that he has, and every single time he says this, I cringe. And I want to share this with you, and then I'm going to share what I'm going to do something about it right now in our business. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Christian Stubbs. I'm a team leader down here in Orange County, California, and I'm going to go ahead and give you tactical advice right now on what I'm going to do so that next time I hear Tom say this, I don't feel like I'm not doing anything about it. Okay, so what is it? It's 5% of your database. So 5% of the population is thinking about moving at all times, which means if you pull up your phone and you look at how many contacts you have in there, take out agents, take out vendors, or hopefully you have a database in your CRM of all your leads, all of those people, 5% of them are looking to make a move. Now, with our team, we have a database of 20,000 just of the unclaimed leads in our pond. 20,000 leads, 5% means there's 1,000 deals that are going to happen in that database this year. And I'll tell you, we are definitely not on pace to do 1,000 deals. So what are we going to do about this? I'm going to go through exactly what we're doing on our team. End of this video, I'm going to share with you one easy tactic to take what we're going to share with you to the next level. Now, before I dive into all of these, I want to share with you that none of this is rocket science. This is something you can implement into your business right away. My advice is to take one thing at a time, work on it, master it, and then iterate it, which means keep making it better over time. Okay, number one, first and foremost, is email marketing. I would venture to say that you might not be spending enough time documenting and crafting your emails to make sure that they're as effective as possible. When we have a database of 20,000 leads, the only way I can touch all of those people at one given time is with email or with something we're going to touch on in a second here. But email is the easiest. Whether or not you have a ton of knowledge with marketing, you know how to send an email. Now, your CRM that your broker probably provides you or your team leader should have the ability for you to bulk email your database. But even if you only have 300 leads, it would take you all day to call 300 people. So being able to reach that many people at once is crucial. So let's talk a little bit about email marketing. First thing I'm going to say here is you want to make sure you go over to your computer and you go to HemingwayApp.com. It's called Hemingway App, even though it's just a website. And this is a tool that's going to allow you to figure out what grade level you're actually typing in. The important thing to mention here, I won't go into a whole nerdy thing about this, but the average human reads at about a 5th or 6th grade level. So if you're writing your email out and it's at a 9th or 10th or 11th grade level because you want to sound smart, just realize that your average consumer is not even going to really understand the whole concept of the email. So you want to make that as simple as possible. I personally try to get our emails out at a 3rd or 4th grade level, depending on the topic. So this is also going to highlight things red or yellow, depending on what is more complicated. You want your whole page to be nice and clean with no highlights. HemingwayApp.com is an awesome way to make your emails easier to read. Now, the next thing you want to make sure you're doing with your email is you're using a good subject line. You don't want to act like you're spamming your database, and you should be using something valuable. You shouldn't just be sending random stuff to your database. As of right now, we just had a big change in the mortgage industry. So the email that I'm putting together for our database this week is about what that change was in the industry, why mortgages are changing and how they're changing and how it affects the consumer. So you want to make sure what you're sending is valuable. And the only way they're going to be able to see that is if they open the email. So your subject line is really important. So you want to make sure you're calling out what you're talking about and who your audience really is. Your subject lines that you should be using should be something that is gaining their interest. Something like, guess what just changed in the mortgage industry? Or for this particular one, good credit equals higher fees or higher rates. That is something that's interesting and going to get clicks. Or you could do bad credit, lower fees, something like that, as opposed to something that is really salesy. You want to come across as like just easy to understand to your consumer, Copywriting is something that's very difficult, so I don't want to spend too much time here, but just practice on getting better every time you do it. Okay, so that's email marketing. Now, the next thing that you should be doing is a little more complicated, but it's not terribly difficult, is you should be doing online remarketing. If you're on a team, they should already be doing this. If you're at a brokerage, somebody at that brokerage should probably help you out on how to do this. Go to Jason Pantana's YouTube channel and he can teach you how to do it as well too. This is one of the least expensive ways that you can go and put your ads on both Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You can do all these different things to get your same exact content that you emailed them in front of them on their social channels as well too. With remarketing, I won't spend a tremendous amount of time with this, but what it does is it allows your consumers that are already in your database to see you over and over and all over the place. It's going to give them the perception that, wow, I saw him on my email, I saw her in my inbox, I'm seeing her on my social media, she must be everywhere. It's going to give the perception that you really are an expert, and it's going to help you convert more leads. So, number 3, this is where the rubber meets the road, where you're going to have traction, this is where you're going to pick up the phone or text and ask the easiest script I've ever used in real estate. You're going to say, hey, did you get it? Because you just sent them something valuable. You're going to follow up and ask them if they saw it, what they thought about it. This is going to do 2 major things. 1, it's a really easy excuse for you to be able to reach out to your database and see what's going on in their lives. And 2, it'll give you really real feedback if your content was any good or not. You might get a conversation from that spurs your next piece of content you're going to send out to your database. This is something that is crucial, and I can tell you from experience that when I send an email out to my database every week for the last 9 months, when I go in there and I make phone calls, they know who I am, and I've never met these people before. So I can go out there spending about an hour to 2 hours a week making really good content for my database so that when I do call them and ask what's going on, they actually know who I am, and whether they're ready to buy or not, I get such good feedback from sending good content. I've heard before, Christian, I'm not looking to move anytime soon, but keep sending your information. It's been really, really helpful. I appreciate it. I get friends texting, hey, decided not to buy that property, but you know what? Keep sending in your stuff. I really appreciate you teaching me about the home buying process. Those things are crucial. So you really want to make sure you're taking advantage of all of that. So step number 1 is get your email marketing right. Spend time on it. Go to HemingwayApp.com. Next is your social media remarketing. Facebook and Instagram. YouTube is super easy as well too. There's 100 different guides on how to do it, so I won't explain it here. And then last but not least, you want to make sure you're communicating with your database, finding out what all their individual stories are, where they might need help, how you can solve their problems, and potentially lead to deals. This is how on my team, we are moving more people down the funnel, email marketing, online retargeting, and then boots on the ground, having conversations with these people and seeing how we can help. All right, so I promised I'd share with you an easy tactic to level this up to the next level. But first, I want to ask you, if you like content like this, make sure you head over to our channel and subscribe to it. This is something new that I'm putting out here, and I want to grow this channel so that I can help more agents with what I wish I would have had when I started my team. So after you've subscribed to that channel, the next thing is the little teaser I left at the beginning of how to move this to the next level. Now, this is going to be extremely simple, so if you've been a little bit overwhelmed so far, you'll be happy to hear this. So moving this to the next level is your email content. Your email content that you're going to send out is also a Facebook post. It's also a LinkedIn post. You can take that and move it into several different things. You can make that a carousel ad on both Facebook and Instagram. You can also take that and make it shorter and put it on Twitter. You can take this one piece of content and put it all over the place. And even if this is the only thing you do all week, all of a sudden, you are now on social media. Now, the difference, you don't have to do it on camera. I highly recommend you do. But if you don't like being on camera, you can just do this on text. An email can just be text, maybe pictures. And then you can go on Facebook and post just the text. I did this just the other day, and I got a lead from a guy that I went to college with, and he wanted to go see properties. So this stuff works. You just have to do it and do it consistently. So I'm trying to put videos like this out to help you in your real estate business. If you want to subscribe to the channel so you can see the next one, go ahead and do that, and I'll see you in the next video.